Hi everybody, I'm Joey and I've got 3 really cute cards to show you today with a new stamp set by Stampin' Up! Called Bright Skies. Bright Skies? Yeah, Bright Skies. I thought maybe it was Brighter Skies, but it's Bright Skies. And it's one that I kind of overlooked in the catalog, the new mini catalog, and I've been looking at more and more samples with it lately. One of my good friends has been doing a lot of cards with it, and I love her cards. So I texted her about it, and she goes, I really love it. It didn't catch my eye to begin with either. So we're ready to go. Hi, Diane. So nice to see you. I'm sorry I'm late. My friends, if you're watching on YouTube, you're right on time. I'm right on time. But if you're watching on Facebook, I'm a little bit late this morning. You know, I always get ready the day before. I had everything set up. I just get busy, and having a puppy kind of interrupts my morning a bit. He's kind of on his own schedule. Even though we try to have him on our schedule, sometimes it doesn't work that way with him. So I am sorry I'm late. I'm really happy you're here. So when you come on, say hi. Even if you're watching on replay or YouTube, I always love to see your comments, and I come back and see my comments and respond to you and say hello too. So I've got my iPad going, and that's down here. It's right in front of me down here, so I can see what you're seeing. And then I also have to get my laptop going, and it's to this side of you. Of me, so that I can see your comments. That's really the only place that I can see your comments, because they just don't stay up on the iPad. So I like to make sure I don't miss any questions, or if I do, I can come back later and see them. So I don't know what kind of weather you're having in your part of the country. We're in Lincoln, Nebraska, and it is a drizzly, I'm looking at a window straight this way, is a dreary, cloudy, kind of windy day. It's not super cold, but you know, it's not spring either. So anyway, each day we get closer, that we have a cloudy day, we're getting closer to spring days and warmer weather. So I'm good with that. All right, let's get started, my friends, and I will we'll do some crafting together. Let me know what your weather's like today too. I'd be interested to know. All right, I'm gonna click a little cool toolbar here, if I can see my toolbar. Oops. Sorry about click the wrong thing there. I think it's this. Yeah, there we go. There's a couple buttons. Sometimes Facebook kind of moves them around, and then I go upside down, but you'll be right side up when I have you on my screen. There, that looks actually pretty good. I'm gonna put my laptop aside. Let's come over just a little bit this way. That looks better. I'm stamping today on my new glass mat studio. This is something that you can get from Stampin' Up! If you join Stampin' Up! This month. And just to be clear, you don't really have to do what I do or do classes or anything like that. You can just be a happy shopper for your 20% discount and be good with it. So if you're interested in that, let me know. You get this you pay $99, and then you get $125 of free product, and then this whole glass mat studio. It includes this chamois. I haven't opened this yet. I guess I'm saving it. But it'll clean your glass mat, and then this cute little tray. This has become so handy for me. I use it to hold my ink pads, to hold die cuts, dies. Sometimes I'm really, really enjoying having this as well as the glass mat studio. I'm gonna set it aside though before we get started, and let me show you what we're working on today. So I'm in our this is our spring mini catalog. If you don't have one and you'd like to have one, let me know. If you don't have a demonstrator, I'd be happy to help you. It's on page 51 called Bright Skies, and these are the stamps. And I'll be honest, I kind of paged through this, thumbed right through this when I first saw it. I had a lot of other things that were at the top of my list, but I've come to think that it's really pretty fun, and it makes cheery cards that aren't necessarily flowers. So let me show you the stamps and dies a little bit more closely. So this is the stamp set. It has several really sweet and fun bold sayings. I like that. Has raindrops. It has a lightning strike, some flowers and some stems, and lots of clouds. The dies, we're not going to use all these today, but we are going to use a lot of them. The dies have several different sizes of clouds. So there's small, medium, and large clouds. This is the sun. This is the center of the sun. We'll be using that. And then we'll also be using some raindrops. And these, you get 2 borders dies in this set. And we're gonna do a card right away using those border dies. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. Nice to have you join us today. I'm also pairing it with the celebration paper. This is called Sunny Skies, and this is free with a $50 order. With a $40 order, you get this class to go, the cards I'm going to show you today, for free. I just send it to you in the mail, and you get 2 each supplies for 2 each of the cards we're making today. That's one side. And then also the dies cut out these 2 clouds. The dies cut those out in that one, and then on the back of it, it also cuts out some of these sizes of clouds. So the dies cut out the DSP as well. And then the other side of these papers are really bright and cheery. Just love this strawberry one. It just makes me happy. We also have a cherry stamp set and punch in the annual catalog, which is kind of fun for that. Here we have the little flower, meadow of flowers, and then we've got big bright bold flowers, and this is one of my favorite ones, this one with the poppies and the poppy parade paper. Anyway, so we're going to play with these today, and let's go ahead and get started stamping. Let me get out all my bits for this card. There's this first card, we've got a lot of bits and pieces here. So let me see what we need first. We need this first. We need this first and this first, and then we'll get out the rest of this here in a minute. Let's just set this aside. Okay, I think we're ready to go. One more thing. Okay, I've got everything out of my envelope here. So you need a piece of Pretty Peacock. It's 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to just burnish this really well. And we're going to go ahead and put a piece of DSP. Is this what I want to do first? I got to look at my sample. Yes, I think this is what I want to do first. This is that Bright Skies, Sunny Days. Sunny Skies. Oh, good Lord, Joey. Let's get the name of it so you actually know. Okay, it's in the celebration catalog on page 5, and Sunny Days. Not Sunny Skies, but Sunny Days. The stamp set and dies are called Bright Skies. Yes. I don't know. I even slept well last night, so I have no idea what my issue is today. All right, so we're going to take our DSP. This piece is cut 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to just go ahead and put that on the front of our card. Then we're going to go ahead and cut, well, let's do some stamping and some die cutting. So first, I'll put this aside. We're gonna stamp 2 of those great big clouds, and I have it on I've got my ink my stamp all mounted. So I'm ready to go. I'm gonna go with Pool Party ink for this one. Since it's a pretty large stamp, I'm going to ink it from the top. So I think it's a little bit easier to control it, and I want to get a lot of ink on it because I want to get a really good image. Now most of the time I don't use my piercing mat for photopolymer stamps with a glass mat, but just for insurance, because it's Facebook Live today, I am going to do that. I don't feel like I should have inked my Pool Party ink pad maybe right before today, but you can kind of tell by looking through your photopolymer stamps if they're going to stamp well. Let's go ahead and give it a good press. And that's pretty good. And we actually need 2 of these, but I have the other one done, so we're just going to go with the other one I have, just to save a little bit of time on the video. Okay, so I'm going to close up my ink pads before I have a disaster and get ink where I don't want it. And let's go ahead and we'll have this ready for die cutting. We need a couple other things for die cutting. So we need a smaller cloud, and there's this one in the set. I'm not 100% sure I cleaned this. I think I did, but let's just be sure. Clean it on my chamois. I know my chamois looks a hot mess, but it's clean. It absorbs ink really well, which is why it works so well for stamping, but then it stains it. But that's all it does, it stains it. It doesn't hurt anything, and it does become clean. It just doesn't look clean. This is Smoky Slate ink, and we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and just stamp this one. And then we're also going to stamp our sun. So I'm going to grab the Daffodil ink, our Daffodil Delight ink, close up my gray, grab the sun stamp, and let's go ahead and there's room on our scrap paper, so we should be good to go. Ignore this little black magic marker thing. I did a thing and it didn't work out. I'll tell you about it as we go along. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this. I have a certain way I like to stamp this. There's one skinny little sun ray to the left here, and I guess there's also one on this side, but I think I use this really tiny one on the left. Well, this is what I wanted to tell you about. So the first time I stamped this sun, I didn't have any trouble lining it up, and it isn't perfectly even. Those rays are not perfectly even like you might think they would be. And so what I thought was, the next time I stamped it, I really struggled with it. I kept turning and turning my die. And as you can see, this isn't quite right. So I'm going to keep turning it. If I can't find it, if it's taking me too long on Facebook, well, we'll just use one I already stamped. So you just keep turning it until those rays line up, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. Would have been so much easier if they'd have made these symmetrical. You know what I'm saying? I think that's right there. We're gonna go with that. Call it good. But anyway, so I thought I had lined up this little sun ray right there with the die the way it would go, and then if all I did was stamp straight on my paper and then I put my die straight up and down where that mark was, I would have an easier time lining it up. Well, I didn't have the right sun ray with the die, so that didn't work, and now I've got Sharpie marker on my stamp, and I'll have to figure out what to do with that. Probably getting my head in the picture, sorry about that. Trying to get this lined up, there you go. This I'm definitely gonna tape down, and I think we'll go ahead and line up these two while we're just looking at them straight up. This one I had a little struggle with too. I'm not sure why. I'll show you the one I already have done and tell you why I was off a little bit with that one. I think sometimes you just have to work with your products a little bit to kind of figure out the little quirks of them. I'm gonna put this down. Oops, I moved it. Now we're gonna go with it. It might not be 100% perfect, but it's okay. It's a handmade card. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Jackie. You're having a lovely day. Kathy, where are you? Because we're not having a lovely day. In Lincoln, Nebraska, we're just not having a lovely day, which, if it was raining, you know, I'd be okay with that. I'm okay with rain. because we need rain. We always need rain. Everybody needs rain. Unless you're in California right now, then you definitely don't need rain because they're having flooding. But for the most part, I'm okay with cloudy days as long as it rains. But honestly, why do we need clouds if it's not going to rain? They're kind of pointless, don't you think? Are you with me? Who's with me? Or some of you maybe like cloudy days, so I shouldn't be making a total judgment for all of you out there either. I don't mind rainy days. I kind of like rainy days, but as I said, I'm not big on the cloudy days. I need sunshine. I grew up in Colorado, and it's a sunny state, and my first January and February in Nebraska, I thought, what have I done? What is going on here? But, you know, it isn't every day, obviously. Not still sure my son is right, but we're going to go with it. But we do have, for the most part, quite a few sunny days. But this time of the year, we don't. And it's just so dreary after Christmas. You want it to be sunny. Okay, so there we go. And let's go ahead and pull all this off. I'm looking at my comments. It takes, once you comment on Facebook, it still takes a while for it to actually show up. It's kind of a time delay. So if you're answering me, I'm not really seeing it, but that's okay too. Sometimes I think, you know, people get involved in watching, and so they're doing something where they can't stop to comment. They're maybe cooking or sorting through something or whatever, their hands are busy so they can't comment. And that's okay too. I'm here to just show you. I like to be social with you, which is why I do Facebook Live, but I don't have to be. We can just craft together. Okay, I think that's all I have to do for this card. No, it's not, but I've got all those bits done. I'm gonna set those aside here on my mat, which is what I usually do, because I can find things easier. And then I'm gonna get my die cutting machine back out here because I want to show you something special about these dies. So I'm gonna grab another piece of white. I think this is 4 by 5 1/4. I hope it is. Yeah, it is. It's the right size. So we're gonna grab this. Hopefully you can see this. And then I'm gonna take the 2 cloud edgeless dies. Now it has 2 of these dies in the set, and they are different. And I'm going to just put them across. I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see. I'm going to just put them across my paper like, no, I want my clouds to be fluffy on the bottom side. There we go, like that. And then this one, I'm going to go the same angle, but I'm going to put my clouds to go fluffy on the bottom side. So kind of like that. Maybe this will be a little bit higher up here. Maybe not, about like so. Not going to really bother to tape those down. We're just going to go for it. I might want this one to come down just a little bit more. But what's so nice about this is that you can cut 2 borders of cloud dies at one time, and they're both different. You know, I don't know if you've ever made cards with cloud edges before or anything like that, but when they're both the same, then I feel like I have to kind of stagger where my clouds are so they don't look like they're the same. Does that make sense? So that's one of the cool things about this. That I'm trying to think if Stampin' Up! Did this in their samples in the book. No, they didn't do this exact thing, so that's okay. I did get an idea. I think I looked at Erica's sermons. If you follow Erica, you might have seen her do something similar to this. All right, so we're going to put this like this for our clouds. Yep, that's right. Just checking with my sample. I didn't get this still scored very good, so I'm just going to double score it. You're in Wisconsin, Kathy, so it's pretty cloudy in January and February too. Yeah. So, true confession, I leave up my tree. So we have an artificial tree, Christmas tree, and we take all the ornaments off and all the decorations, but I leave it up through usually actually the end of February, all that time, because I can't handle the dark. It's just too dark. You know, right after Christmas and you have all the excitement of Christmas, we travel to see my family in Colorado at Christmas time, and then you have all that fun, and then you come home and you're facing these dark, cloudy, often really, really cold days, and I just don't take my tree down. I like to have the lights, and so I call it, then it becomes a winter tree is what oh, I did do something wrong on this. So, okay, hang on. We're going to just gently pull this off. And what's nice about the glass mat is I can just go ahead and set that down. I forgot to put on my big fluffy clouds. So the one we cut earlier, and then I have another one cut as well. We're going to put these guys on kind of like, trying to look at my sample for a minute. I'm going to go off of the cardstock a bit. And did I mount? Oh, I did put these on dimensional. So let me grab some dimensionals. Anyway, that's how I deal with the dark, cloudy days in the winter. Then, you know, when it gets, I even leave them on past my tree up past Valentine's Day. I know. But I don't, it's not Christmassy, but it is a Christmas tree. So, you know, there you go. Kathy, I grew up in a suburb of Denver. It's northwest Denver, Westminster, Colorado. My family, my brother, my mom and dad have passed away. They were in Westminster until all their lives. And then my brother and my nephew and my niece, my brother's children are all, my niece is in Johnstown, my nephew's in Denver, and my brother is in Longmont. So none of them stayed in Westminster, but I'm kind of trying to look at my card and places. So as you can see, I'm going off of the card, and then we're going to trim this down a little bit. So I'm going to take my big scissors. If you've been with Stampin' Up! A long time, because we haven't had these for a long time, you might have one of these scissors that say Stampin' Up! On them. These are the absolute best scissors. I wish we still sold them, because sometimes you just need a longer blade. We don't need one, but it makes life easier. And I'm just trimming off those bits of those clouds. So then we come up with this. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. I'm showing you in this card a lot of the dies I used for these cards, just so you could see how the dies work together and how they can work together. Now we've got our, let's see, what have we got here? We've got our sun. We're going to kind of tuck our sun in kind of back like this. We need a dimensional for him though too. So let's get a dimensional out. You know what? I want this to be a round dimensional because I'm going to tuck some things around it. So I'm going to grab a round one, or you know, the regular size. And I'm going to tuck under this cloud right here, kind of like so. And then I'm going to take the smoky slate one that we did earlier, and I'm going to have the sun peeking out in back of both of these two clouds. Put one over here, like so. Hi, Kathy. You just took your tree down last weekend. Stars in January, hearts. She was going to decorate with stars for January. Trying to kind of look at this while I'm doing this. So hang on here. I'm going to put this cloud up further. Hearts and bows for February, shamrocks for March, eggs for April, butterflies and flowers for May, and fish for Father's Day. Oh, that is perfect. That's so, you know, I have a friend, he's passed away, but he left his tree up all year, but he left the Christmas decorations on it. I never did actually ask him why. We weren't super close. We taught together. But yeah, you know, I guess we can just do whatever makes us happy. And if people don't like it, then, well, that's okay. They can do whatever they want to do. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and tape this down like so. So now we've used like 1, 2, 3, 4 dies for our card. And it makes a lot of layers and interest. Then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to put some lightning bolts on. And here's my sun I stamped in case I couldn't get the die lined up. It made me nervous that I wouldn't get it lined up on Facebook Live. So we're going to go ahead and add some. This is the Pretty Peacock Shimmer paper from the 3-color shimmer paper. The 3 colors are Highland Heather, Pretty Peacock. Should get my tool out for this. Pretty Peacock and Petal Pink. And you get 2 12 by 12 sheets of each of those. So let's go ahead and get these stuck down. I'm kind of rolling up mini glue dots just because I thought that was the easiest way to get this lightning. I know I don't usually pick them off with my fingers, but it's just as easy when I'm going to roll them up anyway. Actually, I'm just kind of squeezing them. I'm just kind of squeezing them like that. So it makes them a little bit narrow so they don't stick out. And then we're just going to go like this one. I'm going to go up a little bit higher. I'm not going to press it down yet because okay, we have to put this up higher. I was kind of afraid of that. Don't do as I do, but I mean, don't do as I do as I say. Maybe put the lightning bolts down before your clouds. So I want this one to be up a bit, so I'm kind of just putting that like so. And then the other one's going to come down a little bit more like here. I still want it above those fluffy white clouds though. So let's go over here a bit. There we go. Now I'm going to stick this back down like so. Then I die cut one of my favorite dies in this whole set, and maybe my actual favorite is this little cloud die, and it's stitched, if you can see that. So now you're not going to be able to see the stitching on with all this glitter, but this is the die I use because I just really like the shape of it. I think it's so cute. All right, so now I'm going to kind of just fit this one. I still have to get my greeting on, so actually we should probably do the greeting first. I've already die cut my label with the Nested Essentials dies. That's this set of dies, this one. This does not go with it. I just have that on my desk because I don't know which die set it goes with, so I have to get that figured out. Okay, let's just go ahead and stamp our greeting. We're going to go to Pretty Peacock because we use Pretty Peacock shimmer paper, and our greeting is going to say, "You brighten my cloudy days." And since I'm stamping on colored cardstock instead of white cardstock, I'm going to make sure that it's inked up really, really, really well. Okay, so make sure you do that, and then we'll just give it a good press. Usually I line it up with my grid, and I really didn't take the time to do that, but let's make sure. Hopefully it stamps good. Yeah, stamps good, so we're good with that one. Okay. Kind of trying to get straightened up around here so I can find things again. All right, so let's put this on first. I'm going to go back to my dimensionals, and we're going to put this guy over here. I'm going to line it up with the side of the DSP. And I'm going to put 4 on this one because I want it to look really balanced. Hi, Diane. You got to go in a good place now. Oh, Kathy, yes, you're right. Kathy said I got to grow up in a good place. Now it's too expensive. That is true. You know, we looked at, my husband was working completely remote during the pandemic. He had just gotten a job in Omaha. We live in Lincoln. It's about a 45-minute drive to Omaha. But he drove it every day. But shortly after he got that job, the pandemic hit, and they sent all their employees to work from home. So he started working from home. And at that time, we seriously considered moving back to Colorado. My niece has 2 children. One just turned 3 and the other is 5, and we have nieces here too. We have great nieces and nephews here as well, but we just don't get to see my family nearly as much as Steve's family. So that's a long story long to just say we did talk about it. We seriously considered it. We looked for housing, and we would have had to lower our standard of living as far as our home goes in order to do that, and we just decided not to. So I don't know whether it's out of the picture for us or not. My husband, I'm retired. Well, I work Stampin' Up! Full-time, but my husband, he has 5 or 6 more years before he retires. So I don't know if there's any kind of a home crash, and I shouldn't say home crash, but you know, if interest rates would be lower, well, we wouldn't take out a loan anyway. I'm kind of babbling. What I'm saying is, I don't know if it'll be possible for us to move when he retires or not, because now he works here in Lincoln. Another good reason that we didn't move to Colorado, because he works, his bank got sold with all that banking stuff going on, and in the new bank they did not have the equivalent of his position, so he was without a job for a while. Some of you that watch me, you kind of know this. Kind of think I can't talk and craft at the same time. Anyway, we're happy to be thrilled with the job he has now. He absolutely loves it. He loves to go into the office, so now he gets to go in every day. Here's our first card. And on this one, I did use a lot of the dies. So on the following cards, I'm not going to use quite as many. Well, I used the dies, but I die cut it ahead of time. So before I go on, though, here's a card I made this week. This will go out to my newsletter subscribers. This one that uses the same stamp set, uses the DSP as well. I kind of took my color palette for this one from one that Stampin' Up! Put in the catalog. So if you're not a newsletter subscriber, I'll put the link in the comments on my video right now, but if you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the video description if you want to subscribe. And if you are watching on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. If you're watching on Facebook and you haven't liked or followed my page, I would love for you to do that too. Oh, thank you for the stars, you guys, and the likes. That's so nice. That's very encouraging. All right, so let's go to card number 2. So for card number 2, we're going to do some die cutting first. So let me show you what we're going to do. We are going to take one of the clouds from here, and we're just going to cut out this one. So this is the paper I told you about in the mini catalog that's free with a purchase of $50 or more. And the dies cut out several of these clouds. Like this one you can probably recognize, and then this big one it cuts out. I'm going to go ahead and, just for the sake of not taking up as much room on my cutting plate, I'm going to just go ahead and cut this one out. Now, if you get this as a class to go, just know that I will try to give you a couple of clouds like this to cut out. But if you don't have one that you really love that I give you, because I can't give you all the same cloud, you can easily stamp it like we did the first cloud, and it'll work just as perfectly like we did the first one. Okay, I've got that. Then I've got, what are we doing here? I gotta think. Okay, so we need a gray cloud. I'm looking to see what all I've die cut. I've already die cut that one. That was like our pretty peacock one in the first one. And for this one, I've already die cut the sun. So I think this is all we have to die cut. Oh no, we have to die cut the grass. All right, so let me show you how I did that. Let's go ahead and grab 2 pieces of granny apple green, and then we've got this cloud that we want to cut out. So let me go back to my die cutting machine. And let's get this lined up. So I've got this cloud and this cloud die, and we'll just cut it like this. So since we don't have a whole cloud, but it's going to work perfectly for my card anyway. There we go. Let's go ahead and tack that down. Hopefully it's lined up pretty good. And then for these guys, we're going to make actually grass. Well, let's see. We need to move this a bit. Try not to. I need more room on my plate. Hopefully that's straight. If it isn't, well, it's okay. All right, so now we're going to put down these 2. I'm still going to need to cut it twice, I think. Let's see. I could just make this narrower. Let me trim this up. Oh no, I can't, because I had to cut them to a specific size. Sorry, a little scattered here. Squirrel. Let's go all the way up with this, and let's go up here on my plate. Tack it down. See if we can make this work. Now, this is 1 and, let's see, 1.5. Let me check this. 1.5, and this one is 2 1/4. 1.5, 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. Now, we're going to make grass instead of clouds, so I'm going to line these up. I want 2 levels of grass, and I'll show you when I get to my card. And for this, I don't think I really need to tape these down. I'm going to just live dangerously and go like this. So here I'm going to line this up. In order to not move it, I'm just going to drop it down. This one kind of moved. I'm going to drop that down again. Okay, I think we're good to go. Whoops. There we go. It's always so much fun trying to get your die cutting machine in the picture on Facebook. What is going on with this? It doesn't want to go through. There we go. Not wiggle it. Have it kind of at least partly showing in the camera. And then of course it doesn't want to go through exactly like you want it to. So there we've got 1 level of grass, and now we have another level of grass. And Diane, your tree is still up with just lights. You did yours too, but you just had your Christmas. Oh, you had, did your hubby come home from the nursing home? Is he well yet, or no? You had other family members not well either? I saw you posted his picture on Facebook. Diane's hubby's had an illness and he's had to have special care for a while to get better. Okay, so now I've got, I think we have everything die cut now. So let's go to, this is going to be the base of our card front. So I need the greeting on this lower piece of grass. So hang on here. Let's get out Granny Apple Green. And then we're going to get out our greeting for this card, which is brighter skies are on their way. Sorry, this is making so much noise. Let me move my ink pad on my silicone mat up here, and then it won't be so noisy. There we go, that's better. Okay, now I'm gonna stamp this in the lower left corner of my one layer of grass. This card, I'm gonna line this up on my grid on my glass mat. This card, I did get the idea, partly the idea in the catalog. So when you're stuck for ideas, open up your catalog and go to the page for the stamps that you're using. And even if you don't want to copy their card completely, sometimes I do. Usually I just look at it in order to get started, because sometimes I just need a way to get started. Okay, so now we're just gonna stamp, we're gonna, not stamp, but we're gonna glue this layer of grass onto the taller grass. Well, come on. Looks like I'm running out of adhesive in my Stampin' Seal, which, you know, that will be par for the course on Facebook Live. So there we go with that. Then I'm going to bring in, I'm going to just tack this down, not too much. I think I'm going to have to, here, I have another one. Let's see if this one's any better. Yeah, it's better. Okay, let's tack this down here. And like so. Then the next thing we're going to do is stamp the leaf. We're going to stamp a few flowers. So I'm going to keep with my Granny Apple Green ink up here, and I'm going to grab the little flower stem. Now I have to make an explanation. This is supposed to stamp solid green. This stamp was somehow damaged in the manufacturing, which this has never, whoops, is that right? Yeah, that's right. This never happened to me buying a Stampin' Up set ever. But I need to call them so they can replace this stamp, because it's, whoops. We're gonna call that good. Because it got damaged. I think when they pulled it out of the mold, it's supposed to be solid leaves, but I kind of wanted to, there is a die in the set for the leaves, to just cut them and emboss them at the same time. But I wanted the texture. Oh, this is the light Granny Apple Green. I want the dark. Hang on. I wanted the texture of the ink as opposed to the die cut paper. You know, so I will call them. I didn't have a chance to call them yet, but I'll call them today. Just know that Stampin' Up! Will always replace anything that is not right away. They'll replace it right away. So make sure you give them a call. I've never actually had a stamp that wasn't right, but on this one it wasn't right. So I'll call them, I'll get a new set, but just so you know why it was stamping that way, and it's really not supposed to. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna put our cloud, we're gonna line it up here. And this time I'm not gonna put it on with dimensionals. I'm just gonna put it on with adhesive. Kind of line this up. I'm gonna go pretty much to the top of this paper, and I'm lining up the right edge like that. There we go, like that. All right, now we can put this on a piece of Pool Party. Goes like this. And I didn't line this up the absolute best. Hang on, I need to trim this a bit. I have one of these little trimmers. We don't sell these anymore. This was one of the perks for joining 1 year. And demonstrators can always buy, make sure I get this lined up straight though, can always buy whatever is going to be the bonus for joining, the joining bonus. We can usually buy it. There we go. Well, didn't get the bottom of it. So I've held on to it because it comes in pretty handy just for things like this. And I don't think I had it lined up straight, but I'm just going to take a little scissors and there we go. Okay, we're going to call that good. Now it goes on a little bit bigger piece of Pool Party. So the Pool Party is, I think, 4 by 5 1/4. Let me double check it. Yeah. Is it 4 by? No, it isn't. So this piece is 3 3/4 by. No, it is 4 by 5 1/4. Sorry, I can't. Got distracted. I can't read. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to line this up with an even border all the way around. Although it looks like it's a hot mess, honestly. Well, we're just going to go for it. I cut one of these things wrong. Either the white mat or the Pool Party. Or maybe even both. I don't know, but they're not straight. But we're going to call it good for now. I think the problem was this one, but that's all right. All right, then we're going to go ahead and put it on a white base. Put this on. Oh, Diane, yeah. So there has been a lot of illness, I feel like. And you know, I know ideally you have your family celebrations on Christmas, but so many times it's not really practical. Like Steve's family literally never has Christmas on Christmas. It's always before or after Christmas. And that doesn't even count on people getting sick or anything, because it's just hard to schedule families always to have Christmas on Christmas. So rather than not get together, we just have a big Christmas celebration with his family, either before or after Christmas. Sorry, I'm going to go ahead and use a mat under this little cloud. So there's cute little raindrops to stamp on your clouds. You could stamp them off. That's probably the ideal way to, stamp them below your clouds. So if this was your card and you stamped them below, that's cute too. Well, it would be like this. So, and I think that's how it was intended, but I went in and stamped them on the cloud. So we're just happy to get together with family whenever we can, and sometimes it's not even close to the holiday, but we still get together, which is the most important thing. All right, so now we've got just a few more things to... I'm looking for parts, is why I'm being quiet for a minute. I'm like, where's my sun? I had a sun cut out. Where in the heck is it? Well, I might have to cut out a sun. I thought I took everything out of the envelope. Okay, kids, we're going to quick cut a sun, but that's okay. You can see how that die works. So, in your set of dies, you have this one that cuts out the stamped image, but this one that cuts out the middle of the sun. So let me grab just a tiny piece of Daffodil Delight. And I didn't have this ready because I did cut it out. Where it is, it's hard to tell. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Did I find it here? Nope. Okay, we're gonna cut it out quick. I'll grab the big shot. Here we go. So for Steve's family, my family, as I said earlier, my brother and his children are all in Colorado. So we usually go out there at Christmas just because we don't see them. Other than that, so we do most often spend Christmas in Colorado with my family on Christmas, which is really fun because, you know, the little ones, the great niece and nephew, they're at the ages where they're so excited for Christmas and getting together with family. But I think as families grow and children grow and get older, it is harder to get everybody together for holidays. But as I said with Steve's family, we just get together whenever we can. But we always set a date so that we don't miss getting together too. So that's the best thing. Okay, now I know for sure, you guys, that I cut out, oh gosh, here, look at this. I thought I dumped this out. Well, there was our sun, so I did cut it out. Now we've got some flowers. Let's go ahead. These are dies in the set as well. Everything I'm using is only from this set on this card. So let's get some mini dimensionals and put these on these little flowers. These are little poppy parade flowers. This is a die that also well, embellish. What am I trying to say? It embosses as well as it die cuts, so there's a lot of texture to the flowers. And I'm gonna go ahead and put these cute little flowers here. And there we go. And I would have stamped the flowers, the tulips too. I really, in the worst way, wanted to stamp these tulips. But these two stamps got messed up in the manufacturing process. I didn't check my stamps before I started creating with these, because it's never ever, in 20 years of being a demonstrator, it's never happened. So the quality control is very, very good at Stampin' Up, but that got by them. So they'll fix it and send me a new one. So it'll all be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and put this little guy up here. And then we want our cloudy sky with the raindrops in it to go maybe about there, kind of below that cloud and right above the little flowers, like so. There we go, kind of like that. So, okay, cute. Now we can't not have bling, so we're gonna go out. I'm just gonna go back to my rhinestones again because, well, that is if I can find them. Goodness gracious, this has been a can't find anything day. These are the stems die cut that I could have used these here, and that would be cute too. Well, I can't really see them, but I just wanted the texture of the ink, so I went ahead and used the one that I had, even though it's not stamping 100% correct. But that's how you can kind of see it. Let's go ahead, and if I can find my rhinestones, I'll put them on. And if I can't, I will use something else for that. All right, so let's go ahead and grab these guys. Just put, you could use blue sequins too. We have blue sequins in the catalog, but I think rhinestones maybe look a little bit like raindrops, maybe not. Okay, and there's our cheerful card number 2. I do try to send quite a few, actually, thinking of you. Hope you're doing okay cards. So I think I'll end up using this stamp set probably quite a bit for things like that. Okay, so there's our second card. Now, the last one is the easiest and the fastest, so stick with me and we'll finish one more card with this cute stamp set and the DSP. So I'm going to pull out, see, do we have some die cutting we're going to do here? Looks like we are. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you one more thing die cut on this. So we don't need these guys. I already did the sun for this one and the cloud for this one. We're going to cut out the raindrops because I haven't showed you that yet. So let me show that to you. Get back the die cutting machine. And there are 2 dies in this set that have raindrops. So there's this one that we're going to use right now. And then there is a smaller one. This one I haven't taken off the sheet yet, but these smaller ones. So for this one, we're going to use the larger ones. To show you all the dies that are in this bundle, I would have had to make more cards, but I tried to show all the main ones and some different things that you can do with these guys. As in the cloud borders you can use also for grass. And I'm sure there's other things. You could use it for ocean waves too, I'm sure. Something like that. If you're using a sea theme. I'm gonna put all these little raindrops off to the side. And, okay, we're gonna make this one in a jiffy. This is a very easy layout. You could use this layout with any stamps that you own. You don't need this one. And I'll show you the layout for an idea. So this is I think it's 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 by 4 3/4 piece of DSP. This is your basic white thick. It's 4 1/4 by 11. I scored it at 5.5. I'm gonna go ahead and put this super cute rainbow paper on this. I'm not putting it on a mount or on a mat of any kind. I'm just going to go ahead and stick it right on the paper, like so. Then I'm going to grab, this is 1 1/4, I think. 1 1/4 by 4, and we're just going to stamp our greeting. And let me grab, Lost Lagoon is what we need for this color. No, Pool Party, Pretty Peacock, Lost Lagoon, those are all used in this paper, which are some of my favorite colors. So our greeting is going to say, sprinkled with love. And we're just going to stamp that to the right. This idea was inspired by one I saw by the Erica Serwin made. So I looked at her cards made with this set, and this one is similar to one that she made. So sprinkled with love. Then I've already got my sun stamp, so we're just going to grab our greeting. I'm going to lift it up. So again, this is kind of just an all-around card template. Put down your sheet of DSP, put a strip of white with your greeting on it, or colored. You could use colored cardstock too for both the greeting and the card base, but I wanted white so I could stamp the greeting and make sure that my ink color stayed pure and didn't get muddled up with the with the color of the cardstock. I'm just gonna kind of center this with a little bit of a border on each side. Then I'm gonna grab my, for this card, I'm gonna stick my sun with a dimensional right on the back of my little cloud burst here, or my cloud, kind of like that. And then we're just gonna stick our cloud and our sun right on. Hi, Martha. Right here, like so. There we go. Then those little raindrops, we're gonna do what we did before, which is just roll up our mini glue dots. Whoops, this is loose for me. I don't know why. I don't think it was loose when I first got it, but anyway, let's just take these raindrops, either the fatter raindrops, and I'm just gonna stick them right on the mini glue dot itself. So it sticks like that. Then pick up this and stick it there, and then one more. And like so, we're gonna use 3 of those larger raindrops. And then let's just take our tool. We're just gonna put this at the bottom of these 3 little curves for the bottom of the cloud. Oops, I think they go this way. Am I on the screen? Yeah. Okay, so this one's gonna come out over here. There we go. I'm gonna grab my other paper piercer if I can see where it is. Okay, I don't see it, but this isn't working for me. My take your pick tool was moving and it was bugging me. Okay, this one's gonna come down a little bit, and it's gonna be actually off of the banner right there. And then we'll take our last one and put it under, oh, I put that one upside down too. What is with me? Let's do our raindrops like this. There we go. That's not right. That looks like a fingernail turned upside. That looks like a fingernail, a blue fingernail. Okay, here we go. We're gonna gently pull that up, turn it around so it actually looks like a raindrop, and then we'll come down kind of like this. There we go. Now, I did go ahead and put a little ribbon on this one. This is one of the free, this paper is still made with that free Sunny Days, Sunny Skies, the Sunny paper, I don't know, and the SAB catalog. And so is this ribbon. This ribbon is a free with a $50 purchase item as well. So if you want the supplies for the 3 cards I'm showing you today, you get enough for 2 cards of each using this host code. It's really important to use the host code, and I'll send you the supplies for all these cards for 6 cards in the mail. That stopped on February 11th, so it goes through Sunday night. My specials are always Wednesday through Sunday. But I have an ongoing special, so anytime you order, I always send you a card kit if I have one for that week, which most weeks I do. So you'll never miss out no matter when you order from me if you use a host code. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to put this on with some mini glue dots. And for fat ribbon like this, I usually use at least 2. Like so. And then just put a little bit of ribbon down here. And then sprinkle with love. I feel like we need some gems on this. If you order $50 or more, I also send you an embellishment. Usually it's the one I use on the cards for that day, but sometimes it's not, but it's always a full pack of current embellishments. Let's go down here. Oh yeah, I kind of like these little rhinestones to end with the clouds. So there's our card number 3. So which one is your favorite? I would love to know. This is our 3rd one. And then this is our first one. So you could call this, what can you say, number 1. Let's just go 1, 2, or 3, just in the order I made them. So I'll check the comments. I know it takes a while for the comments to catch up, but I would love to know which ones are your favorite. So again, you'll get the supplies for all 6 of these cards if you use this host code by Sunday the 11th. So what do you think? Number 1, Martha likes number 1. Have I got one upside down? Or are you talking about my raindrops, Martha, before I fixed them? Carol likes all of them. Well, I'm happy you like all of them, Carol. That's very sweet of you. Are you saying these are upside down, Martha? Are they upside down now? Are they? I'm going to look at my catalog, people. That's how they have them in the book, with the fat part at the bottom. So, I know at first that I had it upside down. I don't know what was going on with me. No. Catching you like, hi, Julie. Oh, you're having a rainy day in Arizona, too? That's no fair. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it. Thanks so much, you guys, for joining me today. What do you think of this set? Is this one that you think you would enjoy creating with? As I said, I was kind of late to the bandwagon. I gotta find my tools here so I can get it right side up. There we go. And I didn't get it on my initial purchase, but now I'm having fun with it. I'm glad I got it. It's bright and cheery for spring. You know, we were talking about rainy weather, and we do always have a lot of rain in spring, but I feel like it's perfect for encouraging people, letting them know you're thinking of them, and letting them know that cloudy days aren't going to be forever. We all need to hear that sometimes, don't we? All right, my dear friends, thanks so much. I'm happy you were here with me today, and I hope I see you next Wednesday, 12:30, same thing, or watch me on YouTube. I always load my Facebook Live up to YouTube. This afternoon, I'll do it. I'm cutting card kits for last week's class to go, and then I'll load it up on YouTube so you can find me there too. Thanks again. I'm so happy you were here with me. Bye-bye.